In the Buddhist tradition, the Four Noble Truths are the most basic expression of the teachings of the Buddha. They are sometimes referred to as the Four Pillars of Buddhism. The Four Noble Truths are: 1. The truth of suffering, dukkha; 2. The truth of the cause of suffering, samudaya; 3. The truth of the end of suffering, nirvana; 4. The truth of the path to the end of suffering, magga. The first truth, the truth of suffering, is that life is full of suffering. This suffering can take many forms, such as physical pain and suffering, mental suffering, and the suffering of being caught in the cycle of birth and death. The second truth, the truth of the cause of suffering, is that this suffering is caused by our own actions, or karma. This means that our suffering is not caused by external factors, but by our own choices and actions. The third truth, the truth of the end of suffering, is that it is possible to end this suffering. This is the goal of the Buddhist path, to end the cycle of suffering and attain nirvana, or liberation from suffering. The fourth truth, the truth of the path to the end of suffering, is that there is a path that leads to the end of suffering. This path is the Eightfold Path, which is a path of ethical conduct, mental discipline, and wisdom. The Four Noble Truths are the foundation of the Buddhist path. They provide a framework for understanding the nature of suffering and the way to end it. By understanding and applying the Four Noble Truths, we can begin to free ourselves from the suffering that is a part of life.